Man, oh man, oh man, is it good to be back in the saddle again? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday, Wednesday. What is today? I don't even know what today is. It's October the 5th. Let's see what today is. I have no idea. It is Wednesday. Oh boy, here we go. When your life is going so fast, you don't even know what day it is, right? Hey, good morning, y'all. Welcome to Wednesday, October the 5th, 2022. My name is Aaron Dwyer. We are back in the saddle. We missed a couple of days, Monday and Tuesday, but we are back now with this unknown thing that we do every single morning at 6:30 Eastern and 5:30 Central. So I'm glad that you guys are with us. If you are here, please let me know you're here. Just give me a good morning, and we'll get rocking and rolling, man. Just an absolute beast of a morning so far. Good morning, Kristen Ritchie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Get in here and tell me good morning. Leave a little comment. So happy to see everybody. It has been a whirlwind 24 hours for the Exit Realty Lake Country family and a group of us. So they got to experience a little bit of my life yesterday. Good morning, Melanie. I know. It is this. Y'all don't realize how driving back and forth to Georgia's is. Even riding back and forth to Georgia is a little harder than maybe you think it is. And man, those mornings that I drive back and forth, those next days are tough. So a big group of us went to. I know that everybody's sleepy, so we'll probably have some late arrivers to the party this morning. That's okay. Hey, good morning, Melanie. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning if you're watching on YouTube. Good morning if you're watching from the Exit Realty Lake Country Nation. Again, my name is Aaron Dwyer. I'm one of the owners of Exit Realty Lake Country. My wife, Christy, and I own this company, and we do this every single morning. We get on this call every single morning at about 6:30. We started with our agents, and good morning, Anna Davis, and started with our company and our agents, and we've kind of uncorked this and unboxed this to allow people to watch this from outside our company. And it's been pretty fun. It's fun. Sometimes it's tough, but it's fun. But we've had a couple of days off, and so I wanted to make sure that we got back in the saddle this morning. And we've had a cool couple 48 hours. So Monday, if I remember correctly, Monday we were in Atlanta. Christy and I were in Atlanta at the Georgia Association of Realtors Broker Summit there, and they actually did that at Truist Park. So if you saw my Facebook or some of my social media, we got to spend Sunday night at the Braves game, which was I'm sure when the Georgia Association of Realtors scheduled that event, they had no idea that Sunday night last game of the regular season at home would be for all the marbles, or at least for a large chunk of the marble. So we got to watch the Braves on Sunday night beat the Mets to take a 1-game lead. And I think the Braves were winning last night, so it looks like the Braves are the AL East champs. So for all of our Atlanta folks and Braves fans, congratulations, Braves fans. You are AL East champions. If that lead held up last night, I'm not sure if it did or not, so I should maybe speak that into the public unless that's the truth. I guess Carrie or somebody, one of you people who are actual real Braves fans will jump on here and say yes or no if that's true or not. I'd always sworn off, just a little personal story, I'd always sworn off being a Braves fan, and probably still am not a Braves fan, but I did get a Braves jersey to wear at the game the other day, but it was sort of self-serving as well because I got a Hank Aaron jersey. So I got a Hank Aaron jersey with his last name, Aaron, on the back of it in 44. So kind of self-serving, kind of self-promoting, but it's a Hank Aaron jersey nonetheless. But that's the best I could do for my Braves fandom. So I venture, I guess we're going to have a light crowd until everybody kind of gets up and shakes the cobwebs from their eyes, because so Monday we're in Atlanta at the Georgia Realtor Summit. And then so we stay in Hartwell Monday night, get back to Hartwell Monday night. If you've not had a chance to stay at the Omni at the Battery, that was so super cool. So our room actually overlooked the right field, the outfield. So we could look over the pool, out of the outfield, and see the stadium. So I actually got to watch batting practice 5-10 minutes from the hotel room, which was super, super cool. So if you ever get a chance to do that, I would do it. The National League Division Series, I'm sure there are going to be some games in Atlanta. I don't know how expensive those tickets are going to be, but that's a really cool park. You ought to do that. So this year's been fantastic for me, and just as a ex-baseball guy, getting to go to Fenway Park and watch Yankees Red Sox in Fenway 2 nights, and then getting to watch Braves Mets for all the marbles in the NL East. It's actually been a really cool year, and I love this time of year anyway, because now we've got hockey starting, football is in week 4, week 5, college football is in week 4, week 5, baseball is getting to the best time of the year for baseball. It is just, for a sports fan, it is the most magnificent time of year. And then you get up in the morning and it's cool outside, kind of fallish, really, really nice. So that was cool. So we were back in Hartwell on Monday night, and then got up yesterday morning for a surprise with about 18 of our agents. And so we have a mentoring program that we just kicked off, actually a fantastic thing that we've been trying to do for a couple of years. And Christy and a group of our leadership council, leadership staff, we can't thank y'all enough. Anna and Michelle and Alex and Melissa and Heather and who else was in that group? I'm trying to picture all the faces that were in that group. Morning, Doug D. So it was Alex and Anna and Michelle, Carrie, Melissa Parks, Heather B. Seems like there was 1 or 2 more that I'm forgetting. And I'm sorry, y'all. I call Jenny Cruz Julie every single day. So it's awful being 50, but I'm not speaking that into existence. My memory is fantastic. I have the memory of an elephant. I remember everything. But thanks to you guys working with Christy and working with me into putting this mentoring program together, I think we have created something that is super, super special. And I think it's so different. I think because we've taken some different facets of the exit model and the exit system and built that into this mentoring program, it is, I'm telling you, the what it's going to do to our company is going to be unbelievable. And what this is going to probably do to we start teaching this to other exit brokers and other exit owners, we start sharing this mentoring platform that we've built and that we're now evolving with and growing. And we start sharing this with some other exit owners and brokers. So exit owners and brokers, if you're watching this at some point today and you don't have a mentoring program and it's something that you've been struggling with or struggling to put together, give us a call, reach out. You can text Join Us. That's mine to 85377, or you can text Lake Country to 85377. That's Christie's. And we'll be happy to sit down with you guys and share what we're doing and maybe give you some insight. We'll even put you with one of our agents, one of our mentors who are on this thing to share some of the success stories that we've seen so far. So we got a group of our mentors together. It's a 7-week process. We got our mentors and a lot of our mentees, the only ones that missed, Kristen and Michelle and Alex, are the ones that are on vacation. Sorry, y'all. We loaded them up in a Sprinter van. They had no idea where they were going. We met at the office, put them on a Sprinter van, and we made a 5-hour drive to Christiana, Tennessee to meet with Coach Burt. So Coach Michael Burt opened up his the lodge for us in Christiana and let our mentors and mentees and our company, Exit Realty Lake Country, come in. And Coach Burt shared with us his heart, shared with us some things, and shared with us a program that he's put together for our company and for our agents that I think is really going to be phenomenal. And and we just had a great day. I mean, we had a great day on the van, even though I did start the day a little frustrated, and Christy reminded me last night just how frustrated I was yesterday morning when we were getting on the van, and how frustrated I appeared to be getting on the van. But that's my C personality. So when my C personality comes out, I like everything to be right. And when I looked in the van and saw that I was going to be sitting on a Yeti cooler for 5 hours because we didn't get a big enough Sprinter van for everybody that was going, I just got a little frustrated. So sorry, baby. But from what I understand, and from what I saw, y'all, and y'all can chime in here, I think yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody but Christy. Matter of fact, I haven't even talked to Christy since 10 o'clock last night, so I'm not even sure she made it home. I'm not sure where they ended up. I'm venturing a guess they probably stopped someplace on the way, I'm hoping, and got a hotel room because she was super tired. But I'm back in Tennessee. I stayed in Tennessee. But what a fantastic day at Coach Burt's. What a fantastic day riding up. Sherry Kovac, thanks for joining us in Canton. And thanks for you guys for plugging in and spending that 5 hours with us and sharing what you love about the mentoring program, which you've not, maybe where some of the pieces of the mentoring program really those pieces haven't been put in place yet, or maybe the missing structure, as Coach Burt calls it, that you're missing in your business, or what you'd like to see in moving forward in for the next group of mentors. And maybe as you guys continue in the program, now that you're out of this 7-week process, and now that you're in your first year, what we need to put in place to make sure that you guys are good to go. Kristen, I agree, man. It was such a cool experience. And so that kind of leads me into this morning. One of the things that we resoundingly heard from every one of our mentees, and it's something that we all deal with as entrepreneurs. It's something we all deal with as self-employed business owners. It's something we all deal with as being in the real estate business, or the mortgage business, or the insurance business, whatever it is, where you're the one that calls the shots. You're the one that says, I got to go punch the clock. You're the one that decides when you go to lunch. You're the one that decides when you make those phone calls, when you're going to prospect, or when you're going to follow up, or when you're going to pick the kids up, or when you're going to get back to work. When you're the one that calls the shots, this piece is challenging. And the piece is structure. How do I structure my day? And we heard from you guys over and over and over again, this time blocking piece is hard. This time blocking thing is difficult. How do I put into my day these structures and these things that maybe we don't look at? Like for instance, I'm gonna use Kristen because Kristen Ritchie's on here. Kristen Ritchie works another job. She's a nurse. And so she goes to a hospital and has to be there at a certain time, and has to be on the floor for a certain number of hours. And her shift is typically 12 hours, and she's there 12 hours, doing all the things that need to be done in those 12 hours. And she's got to show up at a certain time to relieve the nurses, right? She's got to leave at a certain time, or hopes to leave at a certain time to be relieved by other nurses. And so she has these time blocks that are scheduled where she knows this is what these 12 hours, she knows when she's going to start and when she's going to end. She has no idea what's going to happen in the middle of that. She said Kristen spent 8 hours as an ER nurse, and the only thing worse than being an ER nurse probably is being a police officer or being a fireman, because in your shift you have no idea what's walking through those doors. You have no idea in that 12 hours what's coming through those doors, and you have these emotions and these emotions and these emotions and these emotions, and I mean it is hair on fire, and then hours of absolute boredom, and then hair on fire, then 3 more hours of absolute boredom, and it's just the emotional. You got to just be a different kind of personality to be an ER nurse, man. So Kristen, hats off, much respect. I completely get it. So we love you, but so when you transition somebody like Kristen into a business where we say to her, okay, now you're the boss. Now you're the one that gets to decide when you do what you're going to do, or when you're going to call your prospects, or when you're going to focus on new money, or when you're going to follow up, or when you're going to take care of yourself, or when you're going to do whatever. She's looking around going, I don't know what to do. And unfortunately, most of us who get in the real estate business who come into entrepreneurship come from some type of job where we're not the boss. We come from some type of occupation where we got to show up at a certain time and we have to leave at a certain time. We don't have the ability to decide when we show up or when we leave because somebody else tells us when to show up and when to leave. And then when you get into being an entrepreneur and you're looking around going, well, who's going to tell me what to do? Good morning, Lynn Grizzle. Who's going to tell me what to do? Nobody's going to tell me what to do. Well, then I'll just do whatever I feel like doing. And then that creates this momentum, this spin in a toilet bowl, where then you look up 6 months later, shaking your head, scratching your head, wondering why you don't have any business. You wake up a year later, you look around, you go, well, I guess this was not a bad, I maybe made the wrong decision. Maybe real estate wasn't for me. When in fact, you've been in a company, you've been in a business, you've been trying to be the boss of something with no idea how to do it. So we heard from you guys a lot yesterday about these missing structures, these missing pieces, and how do I time block? And I'm struggling with time blocking. And something, and I was, y'all, this morning at 3:45, I am not joking. I was so the last 2 mornings I've not got up at 3:45. So Monday morning after the Braves game on Sunday night, I had probably 3 or 4 too many beers. And so Monday morning, I did not want to get out of bed. That happens sometimes, not very often, but it happened that morning. Good morning, Vanessa. Yesterday morning, because we had to get up so early, we had to get up at 5 to get out of the house to try to be at Brazelton by 8. I didn't get up yesterday morning and run. And I typically still don't get up really early on Saturday and Sunday to go do this. So I had a 4-day break. So this morning when my alarm, and I set my alarm last night at 3:45, and Christy said, so are you getting up in the morning and doing your thing? I said, yeah, I'm doing it. She goes, you sure? And I said, absolutely. I said, I've missed 4 days. I can't miss another day. It's too important. I said this to y'all yesterday, then you were in the meeting. Not only is it too important, it's too important for y'all. If I have some type of leadership position amongst the people that watch this call, if I have some type of leadership position amongst the agents in our company, if I have some kind of leadership position in this house and I've got 2 sons and a daughter who watch me do what I do, then I have a responsibility to you. I have a responsibility to them. I have a responsibility to me to follow through with my commitments, to follow through, to do the things that I say I'm going to do. I have a responsibility and an obligation to wake up and look myself in the mirror and look at myself in the mirror proudly and say, good job. Because that's what my kids see. That's what you guys see. You can't lead. I don't care who you are or what you do. You cannot lead from the back. You have got to lead from the front. You have got to lead by example. It cannot be do as I say, not as I do. You cannot be hypocritical in your approach to leadership. You cannot live your life one way and expect the people that you're leading to live life differently. As a leader, you've got to lead. That's the example of Jesus. Jesus was the best leadership example ever. Read any story in the Bible. Watch and look at anything that he did and pull the leadership examples of Jesus. Whether religious context, go away. Just throw all the religious context out of the deal. Go read the Bible as a literary work. Read the stories of Jesus. Read the stories of how he led. Read the stories of how he inspired and empowered other people to create a movement. Read some of those stories and see how he led. He didn't lead from the back. He led from the front. And in the ultimate act of leadership, he gave his life for everything that he had built, everything that he had created, everything that he had done. He gave his life, which leads me to this question that I asked this morning. Because this morning when I got up at 3:45, I promise you, there aren't many hairs on my head anymore. but I have hairs on my face and I have hairs on my arm and I have hairs on my legs, and none of the hairs to the ends of my hairs, there wasn't a shred of Aaron Dwyer who wanted to get out of the bed at 3:45 this morning. And I had more of a conversation with Aaron Dwyer at 3:45 this morning than I have probably ever had with Aaron Dwyer in the past 6 months. And I had a litany of excuses to not get out of the bed. I had a litany of excuses. Good morning, Sherry Kovac. I had a litany of excuses to not get up and get going this morning. I'm telling you, this morning sucked. Sorry, baby. She hates that word. But this morning, I'm telling you, it sucked. But I embraced the suck this morning. I embraced the suck this morning. I got up, I threw cold water on my face, I put my running clothes on, I put my shoes on. It's 44 degrees outside. I had to put a long sleeve shirt on, and I went out and ran. And I ran the whole time. I didn't walk, didn't stop. I beat every single one of my excuses down this morning. I beat every single one of those reasons why I shouldn't down this morning. I won this morning. What is that going to do for the rest of my day? I won this morning. So when I win this morning, now I'm going to win when I take Jagger to school. So now Jagger goes to school in a better mindset. I got up and read. I got up and meditated. I did my affirmations. So I've won for Aaron. I won this morning for me. Now, when Jagger goes to school, he's going to share some of his light with the people around him. So he's going to win his day. This thing, you guys who are watching this right now, you're going to get inspired. You're going to win a portion of your morning. You're going to win a portion of your day. This just goes on and on and on. But it could have gone the other way as well, because yesterday, as we were sitting at Coach Burt's, I got up and I said this. I don't know if Coach Burt got mad at me for getting up and talking in the lodge. I don't know what's kosher or what's not, but I didn't get a message from him, and Eric hasn't said anything to me, so I guess it's okay. But I got up yesterday and I told y'all, when you create momentum, it breeds confidence. And when you create momentum in the right direction, that confidence breeds more momentum. Good morning, Teal. I expected people to be late, Teal. Yesterday was tough. And when you gain more confidence, you create momentum. And that cycle of confidence and momentum builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's bigger and bigger and bigger. And that snowball of success, that snowball of personal power, this explosion of who you are gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I want to talk to you about this because the flip side to that, everything in nature always has an antithetical side. Everything in nature, every white piece has got a dark piece. Every bright spot has got a dark alley. Every good thing that happens has a reciprocal bad thing that can happen. And that same momentum that you can create in a positive direction, the opposite of that is that momentum in the wrong direction. And that momentum that some of you may have been experiencing up through yesterday when you were at Coach Burt, that same momentum that some of you may have been experiencing until you get on this call this morning, where it is, woe is me, I don't know if I should be doing this, maybe I should look for something else, and all the doubt and all the things, all the doubt and crap that I was saying to myself in the bed when my alarm went off at 3:45 this morning, all those excuses that I had to not get up out of bed, I could have definitely justified staying in the bed, pulling the covers back over my head. Cooper was in the bed with me. I could have snuggled back up, rolled back up, and gone right back to sleep and been completely justified. I could have gotten on this call this morning. I could have said, y'all, I didn't get up and run this morning, man. I was so tired. I know y'all are tired too. We all had that long day yesterday too. And you guys would have said, you know what, you're exactly right, Aaron. I feel the exact same way. But that's not how greatness is built. That's not how big things are done. That's not world class. World class people don't listen to their feelings. Professionals, Coach Burt said it yesterday. The difference in amateurs and professionals, amateurs get tired. And when they get tired, they get lazy. And when they get lazy, they quit. And when they start to quit, they start to commiserate with other quitters. And then that quitting language becomes the language of their day. And then before they know it, they look up 40 years later, they look back at their lives and they say, man, I wish I would have done this. You got to stop hanging out with turkeys. If you feel that you're in a spot, yesterday should be really, really big momentum for you guys. So this is what I want to talk about this morning. And I've kind of rambled on for 25 minutes, but this is what I want to talk about this morning. I got to read this morning. I'm telling you, it's been a really, really good morning. Have we become, and this is what I heard. So Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, Jim Rohn. If you've never listened to any of Jim Rohn's work, he's absolutely, I love his voice, his cadence takes a little getting used to just because of the way he puts inflection on certain words and how he speaks sometimes it takes a little bit of getting used to. But now when I listen to him, it's like, man, I wish that dude was my granddad. I mean, I wish that dude, like I could go to his house on a Saturday morning and sit there with him, having a cup of coffee and sit on his porch and just let him give me wisdom in that cadence and just hear him talk to me over and over and over again. But if you've never heard any of Jim Rohn's work, you should listen to that. Jim Rohn, on my run this morning, one of the things that he said was, he says, don't let your casual create a casualty. Don't let your casual create a casualty. And that hit me. So the title of this morning was, are we too casual? Have we become too casual with our lives? Have we become too casual with our approach to business? Have we become too casual with our relationship building? How have we become too casual with our effort? Have we become too casual with what we do on a daily basis? Coach Burt talked about this yesterday. Coach Burt said it yesterday. He says, man, I wish I could show up to work in my pajamas, but this is the best I can do. Now, you typically don't see Coach Burt in some jogging pants and a hoodie and some Jordans. I'm going to tell you what, though. Y'all, when I get my Jordans, it's not because Coach Burt got Jordans. I promise you. I've been trying to get Jordans for a minute, and I had to convince Christy that Jordans are okay for a 50-year-old dude to get. I talked about that story. And I just hadn't gotten them yet. So when I walk up in my Jordans, don't think that I'm copying Coach Burt. I actually wanted Jordans before Coach Burt started wearing Jordans. I'm telling you, I promise. I've been around Coach Burt for a minute. That's the ego thing. Sorry, y'all. I digress. You typically will not see. Let me ask you this. As a police officer, if I showed up to work as a police officer in shorts and a t-shirt with my badge and my t-shirt and my gun belt around my shorts, and I'm wearing tennis shoes and a hat on backwards. Now, I know there's some police officers that show up to work that way, but I'm a patrolman. I'm the guy that's going to pull you over. Okay. I pull you over and I walk up to your car in a t-shirt with a badge stuck in my t-shirt, a gun belt, shorts on, and tennis shoes and a hat on backwards. How seriously are you taking me? How seriously are you taking me? Because my casual nature creates an environment. The way that I approach the car creates an environment. There's a level of force that a police officer has that's called official presence. That official presence is created by the car, the uniform, how you're put together. That's an official presence. So have we become too casual? Coach Burt talked about it yesterday. We don't go to the office much anymore. We don't show up to work anymore because we stay at home in our shorts and our t-shirts. We wear yoga pants. I don't wear yoga. Well, I guess those are probably yoga pants. We put on our comfy clothes and we sit at the kitchen table, or we sit at the kitchen island, or we sit on the couch and we do some work. And we just we're not really invested in the day. We're not really invested in our work. We're just kind of half butt going through it because of the way how the clothes we wear. So let me ask you a question. When you dress up for an event, ladies, when you put a cocktail dress on and you get your hair fixed up and your makeup's done and you go into the event, does your heart feel different? Do you walk into that event when you look super, super fly and you got that cocktail dress on and your hair's up and your makeup's done? I mean, y'all walk with your shoulders back and y'all strutting there. There's a different feeling. You have a different feeling. You're not casual. You have a different feeling walking into that event. Is that true? Yes or no? You walk in feeling like a queen. You walk in there, their chin up, your shoulders are back, and you are feeling like $1,000,000 because you look like $1,000,000. If you went to that same event in yoga pants and a t-shirt and some tennis shoes with your hair in a ponytail and some lipstick on, would you have this? You're the same person. It's the same event. You're walking through the same doors, but do you feel the same way? Because where before you walk in feeling like a queen, when you walk in your yoga pants, then you feel like you don't belong. Do you agree with me on that? Do you agree? Do you agree that how you present yourself to the market changes the way you feel about yourself? Would you agree with that? Have you become too casual? Have you become too casual with your life, with your business, with your relationships? Are you putting the effort that's necessary? Or do you have the opinion that if I do it, I do it. If I don't do it, it doesn't matter because I can do it the next day? Because there were 18 of you who went with us to Coach Burt's, who sat in there with him, spent hours in there at the lodge with Coach Burt. You had 5 hours in a van ride up and 5 hours in a van ride back. And you were you were in those conversations, you were in those moments, you heard these things. You guys committed to jumping in with Coach Burt. You committed to building up your business. You committed to getting that coaching. You committed to doing those things yesterday afternoon. But if you look at that commitment with casualty, if you look at that commitment with casual, if you casually, let me say it this way. Sorry, it's still early. It's only 6 o'clock in the morning. So my words, I'm still trying to find them. If you're casual with that commitment, guess what happens on that Monday when it's time to sign in to Monster Nation? If you're casual with that commitment, guess what happens when boot camp shows up? And it's time for you guys to be at the lodge in Tennessee. If you're casual with that commitment, guess what happens when there's an event that Coach Burt's doing? When you're casual with that commitment, guess what you don't do on a daily basis to take advantage of Coach Burt's coaching? You see, when you're casual with your commitments, you create casualties. When you're casual with your approach to life, you create casualties. Because every single one of you had this big thing to do. Every single one of you have been endowed with this birthright, God-given birthright, to go make your world a better place, to go help people around you be better. You're all given that birthright. You're all given special tools and talents that you're supposed to develop and build and grow so that you can help the world around you be better. But when you're casual to your commitments, when you're casual in your approach to life, when you're casually looking at your spark and what you're supposed to do, you create casualties. And those casualties are all the people around you who needed you to be better. Your casualties are all the people around you who needed you to do something special. All the casualties are the people around you who didn't achieve their greatness because you were casual in your commitments. I'm not opposed to working from home at all. At all. I think the working from home movement, there's studies that show that working from home helps people be more productive. From what I've seen and just me looking at people working from home, yes, things have changed. In the 1930s, the 1940s, the 1950s, the 1960s, America was built on production. It was built on people standing in a line and stamping out widgets 8 hours a day. And the more widgets that were stamped out, the more money the company made. So productivity was time, right? Productivity was tied to time spent stamping out widgets. And productivity was tied to, if I'm more efficient in my widget making and I make more widgets in a shorter period of time, then I can make more money. And if I can't make more widgets in shorter periods of time, then I need to spend more time making widgets. So our productivity was tied to time invested, to time spent. Most of you on this call are somewhere between late 20s to 50 years old. So our parents are somewhere in the 60 to 70-year-old range. So most of our 60 and 70-year-old parents were born in this 40s and 50s and 60s, where they stamped out widgets, where they worked someplace for 30 years, where they got a gold watch at the end of the deal, because they were products of people from the 30s, the 20s and the 30s, when things went bad. Go brush your teeth. When things were, wipe your chin off. When things were bad, when things were tough. How many of you have grandparents that in their garage, your granddad saves every screw, nail, staple, corner of piece of wood, because at some point he may have to use that. So he's got these jars in his garage that are all screwed up, and he's got all these random screws and nails and bolts, and he's got stacks of wood in the corner, and he's got all this stuff everywhere because there's a possibility that he may have to use that at some point in his life. I didn't have much of a granddad, but I've seen other people's granddads have garages like that. And that's a result of them living in scarcity, of them living in a time when things went away, when things weren't available. Most of us, hell, I go build a cabinet and I've got extra screws. I usually just throw them in the trash. I don't keep them. I keep random screws every now and again if I think they're useful, but most of the time I throw them away because I know I get more. So the way that I look at life and the way that my grandparent looked at life were completely different. So here's I got 10 more minutes and I got to get off this, or maybe 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna get off this call. Yesterday on the car ride, on the van ride up, talking about missing structures and time blocking. How does that relate to being casual with your business? How does that relate to looking at your business through the lens of, if it gets done, it gets done. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. It's not that big a deal. Do you think those things are related even a little bit? And I used this example driving up yesterday. Jagger gets out of school at 2:15, which means at 2:15, the school is no longer responsible for him. Now he becomes a parental responsibility once again at 2:15. If I looked at that 2:15 pickup time as, ain't a big deal. If I get there at 3:15, if I get there at 4:15, heck, if I don't get there at all, somebody else will do it. Somebody else will watch him. How well do you think that would play in public? How bad do you think I would get roasted on Facebook by his mom? How many times would the police have to call me to come get my son before something happened? So of course I'm not casual with that 2:15 pickup time. Of course I'm not casual with that time. I've got to be there at 2:15 because the consequences of me not being there at 2:15 are great and are, if I'm not there, are really bad. The consequences of me picking him up aren't that fantastic. It's not like angels sing and the birds come out and the rainbow starts shining. I just pick up my son. Would you stop? Go sit over there. Go. Hey. Sorry, we had a little moment. I've got to get off here because I've got to take Jagger. There's so many things I want to say about this because I believe to create the structure in your day, you've got to be less casual in your commitments. You've got to be less casual in your approach to your business. You've got to be less casual in your approach to your life. You've got to be less casual in getting and finding and accentuating that birthright that God gave you. You've got to get less casual. You got to put on a cocktail dress, put your makeup on, put a suit on, pull up that tie, cinch that thing up, and go do the work that needs to be done. Think about generationally. There's so many, there's this concept is so big and it's so much bigger than what I can talk about this morning. As I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, I'm playing through my mind how things have changed just dress wise in the marketplace, how business dress has changed in the marketplace over the last 20 or 30 years. How there was a time when you wouldn't get on an airplane unless you were dressed for success, unless you were dressed in business casual. You wouldn't get on an airplane. Hell, now people get on airplanes in their pajamas. I mean, they literally get on airplanes in their pajamas, in their house shoes, and smell like 3 days of death, and you're sitting by them on an airplane. I mean, even that, we've become so casual in our approaches. Our personal excellence has diminished because we approach life in this perpetual casualness. We're perpetually casual. So I think an offshoot of this, and I'm going to start diving into this because I think a concept here that I want to build on is based out of this. And what I was reading this morning, don't feel guilty. Do not feel in the time that you have and the times that you have set aside. Don't be casual to your approach to those moments. Set that time aside. If it's 30 minutes, if it's an hour, Coach Burt says 2 hours of prospecting. Spend your 2 hours completely focused. Spend an hour. If it's an hour, if it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes of uninterrupted prospecting is better than 3 hours of casually doing it every now and again. And I'm going to start looking at some theories here. And I'm going to start trying to justify this. I feel in my spirit that if you become less casual in your approach to your day, if you become less casual in your approach to your business, if you become less casual in your approach to your structures, into your prospecting, into your follow-up, that you will actually create for yourself more time for your family, that you'll actually create for yourself more time for you. personal time for you, time to go get a massage, time to go get a chiropractor adjustment, time to go take a walk, time to read a book, time to work on a cooking skill, time to pick up your kid at school without feeling guilty, without feeling rushed, without feeling distracted, without feeling like you're being pulled in 17 different directions. In my spirit, I'm feeling like if you will spend 30, 45 minutes, an hour of focused, uninterrupted, not being casual in your approach, dressing up, cinching up your tie, looking your best, feeling your best, getting into that moment and rocking that prospecting, rocking that follow-up, rocking that door knock, whatever it is in your business approach, that you can actually be more efficient. You could actually create more productivity. You could actually create more dollar bills for your business and create for yourself more time to spend with your family, to go to the beach, go walk your dog, go take a nap. Some of you are going to need naps today. Don't feel guilty about it. Take you a 10 or 15 minute nap. Perfectly fine. Yesterday was tough. Yesterday was a tough road trip. I do it a lot. I know how hard it is. Yesterday was a tough road trip. Don't let your casual create casualties. Don't let your casual approach, don't let your ho-hum approach to your business, don't let your casual approach to your commitments create casualties. This thing's too important. Those people that are looking to you, those people that you're leading, it's too important. Dedicate some time today, if it's an hour, to prospecting, uninterrupted. Not on Facebook, not searching for tennis shoes, not looking for Range Rovers. Spend time today looking at nothing but straight ahead. Focused on those 30 minutes, focused on that hour, focused on that 2 hours, focused on that moment. And then once you get that moment, you're approaching that moment with complete professionalism, with complete dedication, with complete focus, then give yourself 10 or 15 minutes to chill. Go take a walk. If you've got to get in the office, to stop feeling so casual about your business, because some of you not getting in the office is creating this casual approach. Some of you not coming to the office and not turning the lights on and not punching the clock, walking through the front door of the office is creating this casual approach. So some of you you might need to revamp your day. You might need to revamp how you look at your days. You might need to go to the office and spend an hour, 2 hours. You may need to go flip the lights on. Do some work there. Sit at a desk there. Have some conversations there. For the 18 of you that went to Coach Birch yesterday, you made a commitment. And I've told y'all yesterday before we left, that commitment is not to me and Christy. And that commitment is not to your spouse. And that commitment is not to anybody other than the person looking at you in the mirror. And that's the person that you committed to yesterday. So your first challenge is stop being casual in your commitments to yourself. Show up for yourself. Do the things you know you're supposed to do. Be able to look at yourself in the morning and say, but I am proud of you. I am stinking proud of you because you probably should have stayed in the bed, but I'm proud of you for not doing it. And you know what, bud? I think you're a badass this morning. I really do. Stop being casual in your commitments to yourself. Don't let your casual approach to life, to business, to family, to relationships, it all matters. Stop being casual with it. Don't let it create casualties. I'm going to read you this one thing, then I got to jump because I got to take Jagger to school. So this is from the book. Like I told you, I got to read some more today. So the Everyday Hero Manifesto. So this is chapter 67. The keep your fire blazing theory for a lifetime of audacity. Let me read you this quote from Ayn Rand. Don't let your fire go out. Spark by irreplaceable spark in the hopeless swamps of the not quite, the not yet, and the not at all. Do not let the hero in your soul perish in lonely frustration for the life you deserved but never have been able to reach. The world you desired can be won. It exists. It's real. It's possible. It's yours. Stop being casual in your approach. Stop having a ho-hum approach to life, to business, to relationships. Make every moment of your day important. Put on something that makes you feel good. Walk in the office, turn the lights on, turn the music on, and get in there and be a badass. Go home, love on your spouse, love on your kiddos. Go be a badass. Do the thing the world needs you to do, which is go be a badass. Lead by example. Stop being casual. It's time. It's time. And for the 18 of you that came back from Coach Birch yesterday, I heard the van ride back was really, really super cool. I cannot wait to hear the stories from the van ride back. Stop being casual. Don't let your casual create casualties. I love y'all. Have an awesome day. It's a fantastic Wednesday. October the 5th, 2022. It's the only one you're going to have. Go make it awesome. Okay? Be good. Be great. Be you. Love y'all. Bye.